Did a video last week about my FreeSky MQ60, and that reminded me I've never done a video about the eachine H8. This is the first little micro quad that I ever got, and I've gotten a few of them. The best thing about these is these are cheap. This cost me 30 bucks, which is next to nothing. And we'll do a quick unboxing to show what's in it. This one's fairly new. I've unpacked it once to make sure it's fine, but not really taking anything out of the box. So you get a little manual, you get another little manual. Doesn't really, neither of those really tell you much, but this thing's simple, so you don't really need anything like that. And in the box, get this little plastic thing. So what you get is you get the quad itself, and you can see this looks quite a bit different from the Inductrix type quads. You get a tiny little remote control, and under here you get some spare props, a little screwdriver and a battery charger. I'm not going to open this because I've got a few of these, but this is just a USB battery charger, single battery, pretty much the same as what you get with most of the other little micro quads. So the little radio itself, I mean, this is obviously tiny. This only works with this quad, and it's not any of the standards. So this is its own little thing. It uses one of the Chinese standards. So if you've got something like one of the multi-protocol modules, this does work with that. But this takes 3 AAAs, if I remember correctly. And it's actually not that bad. I mean, it's tiny, you can thumb it. There's not really much to say with it. I've flown them with this and they fly fine. It doesn't give you much control, the springs are quite stiff. So this is the important part. This is the quad itself. So you obviously get the quad, and in the quad you get a battery, which you have to pull out with the battery cable, and that's a little annoying. So it uses these little square batteries. This is a 150 milliamp hour battery, single cell obviously, but you can use pretty much any battery that fits. And this is the quad. I mean, there's not that much to it. It's just a little tiny quadcopter. If I get the FreeSky one, show off, it's actually a little bit bigger. I mean, it looks quite a bit bigger, but it's not actually that much bigger. But it's a little bit bigger than the Inductrix style quads, and it doesn't have the ducts, so it has these. What I've actually found is that makes this a little bit quicker in a straight line. The flight controller doesn't run anything that you can modify, well, not easily anyway. There is third-party firmware for it, so you can flash these, and I've done that to one of my quads and it works okay, and it lets you tune it a little bit better, and it gives you acro mode, which some people really like. I find on these little ones that sometimes acro doesn't work quite as well as you'd expect, and just flying these in leveled mode is normally perfectly fine. Now two obvious things is, firstly, this is really cheap compared to an Inductrix, and the other one is you'll notice there's no camera. Now there was no camera on the original Inductrix, so what you do is exactly the same as what you do to the original Inductrix. You hot glue one to the top. So the little screwdriver that you get with it's really handy, because there's 3 screws on each arm. You undo those, pull the whole thing apart. The battery connectors connect on the back. You just drill a little hole in the top, or cut a little hole with a knife. Poke your power cables through, solder them on, and then hot glue this tiny little camera onto the top. And that's it. I've actually given the thing a little bit of angle, but it's completely up to you because you're putting it on yourself. You can do what you want. I had another one, or this is the first one I had, and this has a much larger camera on it. I even 3D printed a mount to get it on there nicely. Honestly, the mount was not needed. The camera's a bit heavy, and these circularly polarized tops. I've crushed and broken this more times than I think I've had hot dinners. You can see it's a bit crushed now as well, and I've only just finished soldering it back up from last time I flew it. So I found these linear ones are much better. They can take an impact. These cameras, the smaller ones, obviously a little bit lighter. That means the quad can lift it easier. So this one is actually quite a bit faster than the other one. As far as range goes, the range on these is not that great. I mean, the range on the video is fine, but the range on the quad itself is not that great. They're toys. It's only supposed to be 30 something meters, if that. I think I managed off of the normal remote. I think I managed about 10 or 15 meters. The office that I used to work in, I'd be able to get from one side of the office to the other on it, and then it would just fall out the sky. With the multi-module, because it's got a better antenna, I can get better range. I still can't get 30 meters though. So you're not going to be racing around too far with these, but you can definitely get better range with a better transmitter. The multi-module also lets me use my Tyrannus. It just fits in the back, which is really handy. That means that I can use a full-size remote with it. So yeah, I don't have any, well, I do have some flight footage actually. I will link to the video that I put up flying one of these probably over 12 months ago now. Up in the corner, whichever it to be, no, here, yes. And yeah, I had a little bit of fun with it. We were flying around in a warehouse at the time. I was flying this, some other people flying Inductrix. And that's when we discovered this can actually be quite a bit faster. I was winning races with it. Doesn't corner very well at all, but because it's in level mode, when you turn it just does that and spins out. But you get used to it and you bank it properly. But yeah, it was heaps of fun. This is the quad that got me into micros, and the quad that ultimately got me the FreeSky one. So yeah, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It was just a quick video to show off something that I've had for ages and been meaning to do for a while. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. There's not really a huge amount of things to say about this, but if you can ask anything, go for it. And if you like this sort of video, just random FPV stuff, then consider subscribing. Thanks very much.